So here's how you start it. Press it twice and it starts up. So we're inside the Jeep Wrangler JK Sahara Unlimited. It has a V6 3.6 liter. And here's how the instrument panel looks like. It all looks very basic. Doesn't need any explanation whatsoever. You got your air vents, and 4 of them. Round air vents. So and then you got your AC dial, ventilation, and dial for the directions of the ventilation. The frosted defogger when you push it. Of course, the mirror adjustment, left and right. Stability control. Hill descent, hazards, power. Of course, your power outlet on here. You also have one in the center console, the storage. Close it off. And then of course you got your gear selector. You get your high-low selector, handbrake. You got your cup holders. So that's pretty much pretty much basic. And then we have the glove box, which locks. And then we got the assist bar. Now we're gonna turn the thing on. So when you turn the thing on, you can see that the infotainment system lights up. The infotainment system on this particular vehicle, Uconnect, as you know, it's very easy to handle, very user-friendly. I've been using it for a couple of days now, and well, I'm quite happy with it. Doesn't need any explanation whatsoever. It's got, of course, navigation, whatnot. Navigation from a Garmin. And you can sync your iPhone with it, or your Android phone. And we got the voice command button. So that's all pretty, like I said, pretty self-explanatory. And it even has a, it can even play DVDs and compact discs. It's not something that a lot of people use these days, but nevertheless, this 2018 model has it. And then we got the lever for the steering wheel to adjust the height. So then we got the buttons and the controls on the steering wheel. This one is, of course, for your board computer. You can reset it. And here we got the cruise control settings. Turn it off and cancel it. Resume. Accelerate as well. Decelerate. And we have indicators, switch, light controls, wiper controls, rear, and then we have, of course, the vanity mirrors and the sun visors. Passenger side has it as well, of course. Mirror, rearview mirror. And one thing that I have to mention is that the gear selector, as with many cars, you can manually select your gears. And that's not something a lot of people use, I reckon. At least I don't use them because I find it rather annoying. This is a 5-speed automatic transmission, and you can make it so by selecting it here. You can make it so that you can go through the gears manually with something that's rather obsolete, something you don't really need to use. And I find it rather annoying as well, because once you have a automatic transmission, why should you fumble around, with the gears? But that's my opinion. Then we have some storage here. We have the same type of storage in the pocket in the door. And then you have on the other side as well, of course. And now here we have the controls for the windows. Power windows, 1 on 4. And I do have to say that once you start this thing up, you don't really, it's a V6, but it's very silent. It sounds more like it's a 4-banger. You don't really notice that it's a V6. There's no growl whatsoever. It's very silent. If they would have blindfolded you and put you in this car, you probably would have thought it was a 4-cylinder. Now, the seating position in this car is just it's very good. If you're tall, small, it doesn't really matter. You can probably find the right seating position.
4 kilometers, keep left.
So I'm driving on the highway, and I'm driving this Jeep, and it feels nice. It feels good. But there's like the suspension is a little bit rough and rugged, so you're gonna have to get used to this. If you're driving a larger SUV, if you're driving a Grand Cherokee, for instance. Nevertheless, once you get used to it, once you've gotten used to it, it's just a pleasant experience. Nice to drive, fun to drive. It stays on this track, and it's quite fast as well. It does 0 to 60 in a 7-second range. So that's quite fast. It's faster than a older Jeep Grand Cherokee, for instance. So that's pretty much it. So like I said, the seating position is very good in this car. Now we're going to check the seating position in the rear. Even with the front seat moved all the way to the rear, there's just reasonable amount of room in the rear. If you go to the other side, then how a normal person would sit, in this case the passenger seat, there's just plenty amount of room. My knees are not scraping the front seat, so that's a good sign. You can sit here quite comfortable in the rear. You can sit here quite comfortable even if you bring two of your friends or whatever. You can you don't really you have enough headroom, enough leg room. You can also, because these seats are very high, you can tuck your feet underneath on the front seats if you wish. So that's all good. And then of course I'm going through the items that we have in the rear. We have, of course, the cup holders, and I have to say that in the rear it's quite basic as well. It's not so bad because this is after all a adventurous vehicle. It's a Jeep Wrangler JK, so you don't really buy this vehicle for luxury whatsoever. If you want luxury, you buy a Cadillac SUV or a Lexus for that matter. We have some storage here. There's some pockets. Here the pockets. One on the left, one on the right. And then we have also the controls for the power windows in the rear. And that's pretty much all you get as a rear passenger. There's no power outlet in the rear, no table, nothing like that, no screen. But like I said, you don't buy this car for all these random items. And okay, so the seat has a 60-40 split. And this is how we do. This latch here, you can you press it. You pull it, and then it comes forward. You can take off this restraint, this head restraint, and then you have a flat surface, and then in which you can stash a lot of stuff. And here you can see the bars, because as you know, you can take this top off completely. To take it off in the front, it's very easy. You got the latch here. You just just move it to the side more or less. Just rotate it. One here, one in the front, and one here, and one here. And then first you take this thing off, then the other side, and then you have to. First you have to unscrew this as well. Remove the latches, rotate the latches. Yeah, then you can take this thing off completely in the front. And you can take the rear part off as well, but that's going to take a little bit more time. But you got all the tools, you have them all. Came with the car. So you can drive completely topless with this specific vehicle. Which is very nice, of course. And one other thing that's worth mentioning, you can take the doors off as well. Here you got the hinge pin. You can take it out. You can take this hinge pin now. You can take it out, and then you can drive without doors. Yeah, so you can drive without doors, and that's something that I really don't understand. I do understand why people would want to drive with the top off, but driving without doors, that's a thing I think from the World War II, whatever, when you needed to get in and out of the vehicle real quick. But under normal conditions, you don't want to. I don't think you would want to, drive without doors, for that matter. But it's just a thing that came with the car, and some people might do it, some people might not. But in any case, it's possible. Okay, and then we have to go to the rear. We're gonna see about the storage, luggage compartment for that matter. So here's how it opens up. They call it a swing gate. And then you have a reasonable amount of room in the rear, even with the rear seats up. There's just enough room in it for your luggage, storage, your groceries, whatever. So, and underneath this board, you got some extra storage. And we're going to do a quick walk around. This one doesn't have a spare tire. It got shredded along the road, along the way. Had to get it replaced. Didn't have it in the storage. Didn't have it in the store, so I had to leave it out. But in any event, here's how the tires look like. 255/70 with 18-inch rims. It's all black. Windows have got tint from the factory. You find the same size in the front. This one does not have a LED headlamps, but if you wish to have them, you can get them from the aftermarket. There's a huge aftermarket for this specific model, and that should not be a surprise. The one thing that would annoy me is the way you open the hood. In this specific model, this specific version, this does not lock, so I would not be I wouldn't really be comfortable with it. So now it's opened up, but like I said, it's easy for a thief or whatever, somebody with bad intentions, to open up your hood. Now I wouldn't be really comfortable with that. I wouldn't really be comfortable with that. But I think there's some aftermarket stuff for it that you can put on it in order for you to lock it. Now you can see that that on this vehicle, everything has been designed in such a manner that it reminds you of the old Jeeps, to give you that nostalgic feeling. You can see here on the assist bar since 1941. Just like I said, to give you that that yesteryear feeling, nostalgic feeling. Now, if you ask me, this car really matters. I really like it. I like the way it looks. I like the way it handles. Of course, it's something that you're gonna have to get used to, because when you're driving it, especially with the tires that came with it, you're gonna really hear a certain humming noise when you're driving over the highway. But that's unique to this to these tires. Of course, you can get other tires, but that wouldn't look as good, wouldn't look as cool. Now, to sum it all up, it's just a great car. It's very fuel efficient as well. If you ask me, if you compare it to two cars in its segment, I don't find it to be a gas guzzling engine. It doesn't have a gas guzzling engine, and it drives smoothly. In terms of reliability, I think this is a very reliable car. I'm not really biased. I just say it as the way I experience it. I've driven a lot of Jeeps in my life, and I think this is just a reliable car. Now, people rant about it being junk and about Chrysler products not being good and this and that, and talking about how Toyota, and all these brands, foreign brands, are so good, but you have to find that out yourself. And what I like to say is, don't believe the hype. If you like this car, if you like the way it looks, well, go for it. That's pretty much it, folks. Thanks for watching.